Welcome, viewers, back to Space Haven. It has been 3 weeks since I last uploaded a Space Haven video. I was having some technical computer problems, and hopefully they have been resolved fully now. So let's get back into it. We are joining Madeline, Jimmy, Tala, and Emerson aboard the HSS Horus in Space Haven. They are currently in a sector with high thermal radiation and some noble metals and a derelict spacecraft that they would like to dismantle a bit of before they continue. They are also running exceptionally low on energy rods. I believe is one of our most critical resources. If we run out of energy rods, we are truly going to have some kind of disaster. You can also see that there's a nebula system here with Energium. If they go there, their shields do drop to 0, so that wastes quite a bit of the energy we've already collected. There's also Energium available here in a micrometeoroid sector, along with some base metals we'd like to collect. And finally, there's Energium here in a solar flare sector. Both solar flares and base metals are quite dangerous to us. Base metals probably less so, micrometeoroids probably less dangerous than the solar flares. We have successfully navigated micrometeoroids twice now, the first time much more disastrous than the second. What we're going to do for now is wait for the crew to wake up. We're going to continue dismantling this ship here, but if we do start to drop on energy rods, we're going to make a jump as soon as possible. If we get down to 2 or less, we're going to jump into the micrometeoroids sector again and try to harvest the energium and hopefully the base metals that are there. So let's watch as the crew finishes their evening. They've got a couple hours left, so we're going to let them speed through their sleeps. It's traditional, I guess, that we walk through the crew's moods as they wake up. So here they are, enjoying their breakfast and their conversations. Jimmy and Emerson standing in the exact same square. They're making it hard to see who's who. But let's take a look at their conditions. So Emerson, first off, is at an excellent mood level of 101. He was comforted and feeling comfortable from his sleep, as you can see there. That looked like Tala is comforting him, or Jimmy. He is lonely, and someone was simultaneously mean to them. And there they go, off for their daily trip. Jimmy, his mood is up to 96. He has no negative modifiers, and he's feeling comfortable. Madeline ate too much and is lonely, but is feeling comfortable. Tala is feeling comfortable. No negative modifiers. She did get impacted by micrometeoroids in our last episode, twice, I believe. But she seems to have fully recovered from that and is now doing A-okay. So before they can get out to do anything else, they're really going to need to prioritize these logistics tasks. So let's take a look at our settings here. So right now, they all have high priority on maintenance, which seems silly. Madeline has highest priority on mining, so she's going to do that. Let's get logistics up higher for everyone else, and let's drop maintenance down. Let's drop all other priorities down. Make sure they're all focusing on logistics or mining in the case of Madeline. We also really need to get these boxes here sorted, and we need to get that other ship salvaged. So right now we're just going to spend a little time watching them distribute boxes around the ship. Seems to be going swimmingly well. qualifiers here. Oh, looks like the automated shuttle is moving somewhere. Oh, it's bringing someone over. It's bringing Emerson over to the derelict, where he is also proceeding to load cargo. Great. We also have a ship coming in next turn, Cult of New Haven. I don't know who they are. I don't think those are slavers. I think Cult of New Haven is just its own. Yeah, so Cult of New Haven is the faction. We don't know what ship that is. We'll take a look when they get here. Taking good care of those resources. Blocking the airlock, so it looks like setting them all on high priority for logistics was really the key there. Taking a look at our storage. This storage here, general storage, appears to be pretty close to full. It's got 23 slots. Somehow they did start using this storage here, which has 37 or 38 items in it. So I'm not really sure what is making them prefer one over the other right now. It doesn't really seem to be a reason. Looks like Emerson made it back to take a break. Quite a few jobs over there. Let's take a look at the jobs display and see what kind of jobs we have left. So we have 17 unattended tasks, construction and logistics. Okay, so I think construction and destruction are the same thing. So we're going to give them equal priority between logistics and construction right now. That should let them go over to the other ship and start tearing it apart if they feel like it. And I'm keeping an eye on our energy. We should be using up energy because we are, we do have a lot of electrical systems on this ship that that need things done or that consume energy. But it doesn't look like we're using it at that high of a rate. I wonder if it tells us how much. No, so it has a rod in its inventory. I imagine that'll just go to 0 or disappear. It won't show us like how much of that rod has been consumed. Let's take a look at the CNHS, the Cult of New Haven torpedo bait. Check to see if they want to trade. So they are looking for cheap hyperfuel. They like vegetables. They like chemicals. They want fabrics. We have a lot of soft blocks, but no fabrics. They have fairly cheap energy rods and fairly expensive energium. So let's see if we can buy some energy rods from them. So what do they want from the Horus? They will take some of these. Maybe we'll give them some soft blocks. We really haven't found a use for these yet. So we could throw 10 of those over there and maybe get energy rods back. That would keep us from having to travel into that those nebula or meteoroids. And we can trade. How much money do we have? If we don't have a lot of credits. We can trade 10 soft blocks, leaving us with 7 energy rods. That seems like a good deal. Let's do that. That will actually take a lot of pressure off finding new energy, and we did just dip down to 2 energy rods, so without that trade, it would have been time to leave. With that trade, we can continue our salvage op here. Take a look at what we actually got from that salvage. So nothing in the inventory. Is anybody over there still? Yeah, Emerson is still over there. Great. And there's quite a few jobs we've lined up. Let's see what that shuttle's doing. Maybe somebody else wants to come over to the derelict. I keep calling it the derelict, but it does have a name. It's the HSS Portia. I guess the reason that shuttle's coming back is so it can complete the trade. Not quite sure why Madeline hasn't hopped out and started the mining yet. In fact, what is she doing? Oh, she's in the shuttle. Okay, Madeline wants to go and help with the salvage op. Our two shields both want energy cells, and they're both marked as insufficient resources available. Our shields are showing as fully charged, so I think what that means is if we take any damage, those shields just won't recharge. Likewise, I think this gun is showing that it has a charge. I mean, these bars are hard to read, but I think that's showing them full. And when this gun starts firing, it's going to deplete its charge. It needs energy cells to recharge. So I think we have like one salvo, or however long it takes to deplete guns in there. But in order to enter combat, we're going to want a good supply of energy, which means we really do want to stockpile a lot more energy cells before we start fighting. It's possible that we'll get something to trade here by salvaging everything on the ship. Let's take a look at what we actually have. I don't want the map. I want the horse and visible resources. So the only block we have in any real excess is tech block. We're going to need infra blocks. And we're going to need base metals. I don't think this ship had any base metals for sale, did they? Let's take a look at that. Yeah, I don't see any. They do have a lot of raw materials. Kind of expensive. We could trade whole blocks for those. But whole blocks need base metals. That's not a very good price, honestly, considering what we have to go through to get these things. They also have infra blocks, which are, this is a better price for infra. Not sure if we have anything here. So they'd give us 257 for whole blocks. They'd give us 161 for food, but I still don't feel like we really have a huge stockpile of any of this stuff. Except for maybe carbon, which they're not really giving us a good price for at all. Look at that. They don't even care about fruit. It's the best trade we could make here. Not really a lot, honestly. I think we did it already with the energy rods. They have a lot more, though. This doesn't appear to reflect the ones that we've taken from them already, though, in trade. Interesting. So let's see what happens when that trade completes. Meanwhile, let's speed this up and let's let these two continue the disassembly of everything on board. Make sure we get it all. Hopefully before any pirates show up, we can get some of this moved over. With everybody focusing on logistics here. Does look like they're smart enough to go refill their O2. That's good. Unfortunately, also looks like it's time for them to take their break. We should probably make sure to restrict their usage of this ship so that they can't take breaks over here. Where did we do that? Here. I don't want you taking breaks. No breaks. What's this column? Work preferences allowed. Okay. No breaks for sleeping on the Porsche, please. You take your break, you call the shuttle, you get over to the other ship. Because there's nothing to eat over here, and you really want to be able to eat during your break, otherwise you're going to be hungry. Okay, the other two are already asleep. What kind of jobs do we have left over here? Industry, chemicals. So we are trying to push raw chemicals through the chemical plant. And also this one is probably the water processor. So those two, oh, and of course, the composter. Okay, so those are the only three industrial devices that are the resource generators that are really doing anything. Everything else is basically shut down. We do not have any energy left. Any energium left to make hyperfuel. Sorry, Hyperium. So yet another resource that we would like to find a better source of. So that more and more looks like we should be going into these micrometeoroids. Now that we have energy rods, we should be able to make some energy cells. So what I want to do, check on that. So energy cells, I would say we should probably keep at least 6. Which means energy cells. Maybe 6 is too many. At least 3. Which means we'll use 3 electronics and 3 energy rods of the 9 we suddenly have. Leaving us with 6 and 2, which means we'll make 3 more of these. We have enough base metals to make 15 and plenty of noble metals. So we should be okay making 3 more of those. Those will immediately get dropped into these units, I think. And hopefully we'll see that they'll have one in their inventory. And it won't just disappear, but that's something to check. Will they be held in there and disappear out of our ship inventory? Or will they just be immediately consumed on charging these shields even though they appear to be fully charged? I don't really understand how that works yet. Okay, our trade is complete. We didn't really salvage anything worth trading to those the Cult of New Haven people yet. But it looks like Tala is heading over to do some more salvaging. Maybe to pick up some of these bricks and place in the ship. Okay, the Cult of New Haven is gone. What are you doing, Tala? I don't understand your task preference there. Let's see. Can I select you? Yes. Tala. Okay, she's carrying things to storage. That's good. That's what I'd like to see, is them just placing these things they've already deconstructed into the storage so we can transfer. And now she's dismantling things. Fair enough. Okay, so she's doing some work. She's taking some strange routes. I'd like to get this dismantled, then we can knock a hole through this wall, or maybe even dismantle this corner so they don't have to do the flight through base there. Because they're pretty much doing this in like the maximally inefficient possible way. It's okay. I suppose we'll get there eventually. Just make sure we are dismantling everything. Everything that looks important, that looks like it might have useful resources in it. 2 kitchens on the ship. I don't think these lights are really worth it, but it's been a while. I can't remember for sure if they have anything useful in there. Heaters, I'm pretty sure, have at least an infra block in them. And we can always take a look what's on the floor in there so far just by going out to this view and checking the transfer. So let's make sure everything here is queued to transfer. Even the soft blocks, because we did manage to trade those off. So that's quite a few infra, a few tech, a few energy, and a few soft. Make sure that all those infra blocks are getting transferred. We're not seeing a lot of scrap. These are all actual blocks too, so I think that's different than with a derelict. With a derelict, when you wouldn't really have the ability to go and dismantle stuff like this. You would just have the ability to salvage stuff through a separate tab here. Okay, so we'll let them do this for the rest of the day. Let's speed through this because not terribly exciting to see them carrying stuff around. That's pretty much the name of the game. Nobody's fighting. They're all working hard. Getting close to their second night since comeback. Looks like Emerson's getting tired, but everybody's on break now. And let's take a good look at everybody. Even though they're on break, they all went to get items. And Tala, even though she's on break, is still in a spacesuit. So she's carrying one of the energy blocks we just produced. Great. Let's see what she does with it. Is there a way to follow people? Can't remember. Not really. Let me double click this. No, it doesn't follow. It just... F just cycles through your overlay displays. Look, she's carrying it all the way up to the shields, which already have energy in them. So this shield says... Oh, it's the one she's bringing. So the icon goes away as soon as they start to bring it to. So they've brought an energy to this weapons. They've brought an energy to this shield. This one still needs one. Tala's taking a lonely break there in the corner. And do we have one more in process here? I guess that's the wrong thing. I guess I told them to make 3 and it still lists it as not having any. So it's going to make 3 more. That's fine. I'd like to have 3 in storage. And then looking at energy cells, we still have none in storage. Okay. That's another thing we can probably trade away is these cheapo pistols, the 5.7s. 57, that's a huge caliber, isn't it? I guess that's what you need in space when you're battling space bugs. Really big bullets. Take a look at everything out here just to see if there's any indication that we might have a problem. Oh, look at that. They do show you partial fuels in the hyperdrives. The hyperdrives are all fueled up. That's good. Oh, and this one too. Okay. So maybe once it gets down to half a rod, they throw another one in there. And that's why this dropped down to 2. Well, look at that. We've already used up most of the energy rods we traded for. Great. All right, they're sleeping. Let's speed through the night. Take a quick look at their status. Make sure nothing bad is happening. The mood does go down during the day, but it improves overnight with their sleeping, usually. And nobody's in a terrible mood yet, although Tala's pretty bad. Look at this. We have a Merchant Federation ship coming in. So when that ship gets here, we will take a look and see what they have to trade. Meanwhile, everybody's running around like mad insects, finishing their daily tasks. We're going to keep a look. Oh, so we've managed to produce all of the electronics we need, but they immediately consumed one to make the energy rods. They're going up into the energy rods. All of these units now show that they have one in them. The valiant attempt has entered the sector, so we're going to take a look at that. Let's just go immediately to the trade screen and see this way if there's anything we can give them. So their fuel rods are 186, not the greatest. They only have one. And their energium is extremely expensive. So everything the Merchant Federation has is very expensive. These guys are not good trade partners. Even so, and also they're not offering us very much for anything we have. They're very stingy. Alright, there's nothing. We're not going to trade with you guys. You guys are way too stingy. Let's just put it on higher speed. Looks like Tala's back over. Nope, she's not. I guess I didn't see her. I thought she might have jumped to the other ship, but nope. She's still here. Nobody is on board that shuttle. It's nice to see that they've stacked everything out of the way. We are using more capacity here. That means this one's probably... so this one doesn't really get full. It gets to about 229. And then they start putting in here. We do have plenty of room in this second storage, but we are going to have to consider making a third storage for too long. If we want to be able to have the room for any backlog. Just taking a look at what we have in storage. Tools? Why do we have so many tools? How much space do they take? I mean, if it's tools taking out all of our space, that's really annoying. I don't think it is, though. Just... there's a lot of biomatter in there. Nothing else in excess. And in here... so it doesn't look like the tools take up storage space. That's good. Despite that, there's just not a lot of any one thing that we actually own right now. Look at that. We have an energy cell in storage finally. Great. Does that mean they're going to make 2 more here? Yeah, I just saw it spit one out. Great. There's at least 1 more there. Why can't I select this? Inventory. Nothing. It's made 2. It's going to make 1 more. Take a look at our electronics here. So we're going to make 1 more of those. Getting low on base metals. I think we're sitting pretty right now. We don't have the resources to make any more hull blocks. Suddenly we're out of energy rods again already. Why are we running out of energy rods? Right, because we had to make 3 more. So I really better trade for that 1 that they have, just because we're damn low on energy rods. Even though they're bending us over the barrel for this. Unfortunately, they do want fiber. That's not so bad. Let's trade fiber. Alright, so give you 2 fibers, and you'll give us some money plus an energy rod. That seems reasonable. That'll at least let us jump. So we're going to have to jump to the other sector pretty damn soon because our energy needs are not being fully met here. Let's take a look at what we have left to transfer. Haven't transferred any of those infra blocks, which would really be the right thing. Let's cancel these other transfers. Energy blocks would be nice too, but make sure we are transferring. There we go. We transferred some of the infra blocks. Let's get the rest of them, please. Let's cancel these deconstructs for now, just so they're not bogging down all our order lists. I'd really like to get some more of this stuff dismantled, but we should probably do it in a more organized way. Let's try to get the rest of this stuff transferred to the other ship, and then let's jump out of here before we waste all of our fuel. Down to 1.3. It is break time. They should all be coming back or already be back. Just Emerson. Everybody else is going to sleep. Emerson missed his meal. He's going to be pretty unhappy. Lonely, low energy, major discomfort. Doesn't seem hungry right now. But yeah, his mood's pretty bad. Everybody else is doing pretty well. Okay. So in the morning, we're going to have to jump. We do have enough energy that... We have at least one energy cell, in all of our systems. And then I believe we have additional energy cells. This interface. In storage, so we have two additional in storage, and looks like one is probably ready to be made. So come morning, we're going to jump out of here before they can go crazy and do anything else. That does mean we're leaving a bunch of those infra blocks behind. We did get a few of them. We got a bunch of tech. We'll probably come back here, get this noble metal. We just don't have time for it right now. We need to get energy. All right, so they are up. As soon as their coffee break is over, we are going to tell them to jump to a new system. But that's going to have to wait till the next episode. This has been Corknut. You're watching Corknut with Space Haven, the ongoing adventures of Emerson, Jimmy, Madeline, and Atala. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a like, and join me next time. Bye-bye.